Liam Carter stopped when he heard the whisper. "Sir, I just wanted to find my mom." He turned and saw her, small, shaking, one shoe missing, her tiny hands pulled inside sleeves far too long. For a moment, he couldn't breathe. His chest tightened as if the words had cut straight through him. He dropped to his knees. His scarf came loose, and he wrapped it carefully around her neck. Her fingers clutched it with a weak, instinctive grip. He could feel how cold she was, her body barely holding on. "Don't worry," he murmured, his voice breaking against his will. "We're going to get you warm. You're safe now." He fumbled for his phone, called for help, his words trembling as he gave the details. The moment the call ended, he lifted her into his arms. She didn't resist. Her head sank against his chest, light as air, frighteningly still. Her lips moved again, barely a sound. "Mommy said, don't talk to strangers, but if I get lost, go where there's light." Liam froze, holding her tighter. The light. She had come to him because his building glowed in the night. She had followed it here, searching for her mother. Who was she? And where was the woman this child had risked everything to find? Her eyelids fluttered open, her voice dry and broken. "Is this the hospital?" Liam leaned closer. "Yes. You're safe now." Her hands clutched the blanket as though she might slip away without it. She pressed a finger against her chest, tracing an invisible badge. "She wears a blue jacket with letters here. It says Street Teresa something." He answered gently. "Yes. This is Street Teresa." Her shoulders loosened, just slightly. She breathed out, unsteady. "She told me, if anything happens and she doesn't come home, I should go to the hospital." Her words stumbled forward, halting, exhausted. She told him how she had waited for her mother, how the hours stretched past dinner, past cartoons, until the dark pressed in. She put on her coat, walked out alone, followed the glow of lights, but the snow swallowed the streets. Her little feet ached. She had curled into boxes, hoping morning would come. Liam's throat tightened. "Why didn't you ask someone for help?" Her lip quivered. She said, "Not to talk to strangers." Then her eyes lowered, small and ashamed. "But I was so cold. I was scared." He reached for her hand, steadying his voice. "You did the right thing. You were really brave." She stared at him, brown eyes wide and heavy with exhaustion. "Are you a doctor?" "No," he said softly. "Just someone who found you." She was silent, then whispered her name like a secret. "Ella." "I'm Liam," he answered. Her voice wavered again. "Thank you for stopping." Something shifted inside him, sharp and deep, breaking open old ache and loss. This time, he would not let go. He leaned closer, steady. "I'm going to find her. Your mom, I promise." Liam stood at the nurse's station, scanning intake records with trembling hands. Line after line blurred until one detail froze him. Unidentified female, admitted the night before, collapsed at work, possible stroke, no ID. The time matched exactly when Ella said she had waited. He forced the words out. "This Jane Doe, what does she look like?" The nurse hesitated. Mid-30s. Blonde. Thin-build. "She's in ICU." Still unresponsive. His pulse quickened. "I need to see her. She may be the mother of the girl I brought in." Moments later, he led Ella down the quiet hall, her small hand curled inside his. She looked up at him, uncertain. "Where are we going?" "I think your mom might be here," he whispered. "We're going to check." They stepped inside. Machines hummed. A still figure lay on the bed, pale hair scattered against the pillow. Ella froze. Her eyes darted to the blanket covering the woman's body, and then her voice broke. "That's her coat. That's Mommy's." She ran forward, stopped just short of the bed, and clutched the rail with trembling fingers. "Mommy." Liam's chest ached as he watched her reach out, her tiny hand curling around her mother's. "It's me, Mommy. I found you. Like you said, I came to the hospital." For a breathless moment, there was nothing. Then the woman's fingers twitched, barely, but enough. Ella gasped, tears flooding her eyes. She moved. "She knows I'm here." Liam felt something inside him shift, reverence washing through him. He rested a hand on Ella's back. "You did it. You found her." But the woman remained motionless, her breath shallow, her life caught between silence and survival. Ella tugged open her worn backpack, pulling out a wrinkled sheet of paper. She unfolded it carefully, smoothing it with her tiny hands. Two stick figures smiled from the page, one with yellow scribbles for hair, the other marked with a small pink heart above her head. She stretched on her toes and pressed the drawing against the wall just above the bed. Her voice came soft, certain. Now Mommy will see it when she wakes up. Liam swallowed hard. That's beautiful, Ella. Her eyes lifted to him, tired but proud. She whispered, I drew it yesterday. Before everything. Mommy said we'd hang it on the fridge today for Christmas. His chest ached. I'm sure she'll love seeing it here. When the nurse tried to lead her away, Liam stopped her gently. Please, let her stay tonight. She's terrified. I'll be responsible. After a long pause, the nurse relented. A small cot was brought in, along with a blanket and warm milk. Ella curled up without protest, clutching her backpack like it was the only anchor she had. Her eyelids drooped as she murmured, Did I do good, Mr. Liam? He leaned closer, voice steady. You were amazing. She sighed softly, drifting into sleep, her small hand still wrapped around the strap of her bag. Liam sat watching her, something twisting inside him. He remembered another hospital bed, another child's frail body slipping from his arms, and the way he had been too late to stop it. Lily. His Lily. The grief surged like it had only been yesterday. But now there was Ella, alive, fragile, fighting to hold on. Why did this child matter so much to him? Why couldn't he walk away? Max stood in the doorway, his fingers tight around a folded paper. His eyes locked on the sight in front of him, his father sitting beside a cot, reading softly from the snowy day. Ella's head rested against the pillow, her eyes fluttering closed as the familiar words carried her toward sleep. Max's throat tightened. That used to be his story. He swallowed hard, stepped forward just enough for his whisper to carry. You used to read that book to me. Liam's head lifted, surprised. Yeah, I did. Max looked down, his voice almost breaking. You haven't in a while. I thought maybe you were too old for bedtime stories, Liam said gently. I'm not. Max blurted, too quickly, then softer. Not really. Liam moved closer, kneeling until their eyes met. I can read to you tonight. Just say the word. But Max shook his head, the words stuck like ice. At last they pushed out, fragile and trembling. Do you still think about Mom? Liam's expression changed instantly, his voice steady and low. Every day. Max's lip quivered. Then why do you look happy again? Are you going to love her more than us? The question cut straight through. Liam reached for him, voice firm but tender. No, I'll never stop loving you. You're still my #1 buddy. But maybe we have room to help someone else, too. Max looked away, fists clenched at his sides, fighting something inside himself. Slowly, he nodded, though the hesitation lingered. The bond between them held, but just barely. Underneath, jealousy smoldered quiet and raw. Would it stay, or would it burn what they were trying to build? Liam sat beside Hannah's bed, her breaths faint but steadier now. His eyes drifted to the coat folded on the chair. Something pulled at him, an urge he couldn't explain. He slipped a hand inside the pocket, searching for any clue of who she was. His fingers touched a thin envelope, soft from years of being folded. He opened it carefully. The words on the card blurred at first, then sharpened. Thank you for holding my hand when I thought I was going to lose my daughter. I will never forget your kindness. The way you kept whispering, she's strong. So are you. I don't even know your name, but you were wearing the softest blue gloves, and your voice made the room stop spinning. Bless you, whoever you are. It was signed, with all my heart, Claire Carter. Liam's breath caught. Claire, his late wife. The night Lily was born, she had told him of a young nurse who had never let go of her hand, who gave her strength when he could not. Blonde hair, calm voice. He lifted his eyes slowly to Hannah, lying pale and broken in the bed. It was her. All these years later. He leaned closer, voice unsteady but certain. You were the one. You helped my wife when I couldn't. And now your daughter showed up in mine. The words trembled into the silence, heavy with a truth that bound past and present together. Fate had already tied them once. What did it mean that it had brought them together again? Hannah's eyelids fluttered, her lips parting as a hoarse whisper escaped. Where's my daughter? The nurse moved quickly toward her, but before she could speak, Liam stepped into the doorway with a steady hand resting on Ella's back. She's right here. Ella broke free, rushing forward with a cry. I found you, Mommy. Just like you said. I came to the hospital. Hannah's trembling arms gathered her close, holding on as though she might never let go. Tears slid down her cheeks as Ella buried her face against her neck. I waited, Mommy. I didn't cry like you told me. Her voice cracked with relief. I'm so sorry I left you alone. You didn't, Ella whispered back. You said you'd come back. I waited. Liam stood quietly, watching the fragile miracle unfold. For the first time, Hannah's eyes lifted to his. Recognition sparked, soft but certain. You're the man who saved her. His answer came without hesitation. And she saved you. The truth settled between them, unspoken but undeniable. Their lives were already entwined, bound by fear, loss, and the smallest threads of hope. Yet beneath the tenderness, scars remained. His, hers, ones that could still tear open. Could they trust what had begun here, or would it break beneath the weight of everything they carried? Liam kept coming back. He brought food, small books for Ella, coffee for Hannah. At first their words were cautious, but slowly Hannah opened pieces of her life. She told him how she had once been a nurse, how migraines cost her the job, how without insurance she'd taken whatever work she could, cleaning floors, scrubbing rooms, just to keep Ella fed. Her voice held no bitterness, only quiet strength. Ella never complained. She always said, as long as we had each other, it was enough. Liam listened, something inside him moved by her resilience. And in turn, he shared the ache he carried, about Claire, about Lily, about the Christmas Eve that had broken him. Meanwhile, Ella and Max began circling each other like strangers until laughter broke through. He helped her wash her hands, gave her crayons, read her pages when Hannah was too tired. Soon the nurses had a name for them, the Snowstorm siblings. One evening Liam carried in a small potted tree, plain and undecorated. He set it by the window and turned toward Hannah. Maybe this year we don't wish for anything. Maybe we just notice what's already here. Her eyes softened, though tears welled quickly. I've never had a Christmas without worry before. He didn't answer. He only let the silence sit between them, full and tender. The warmth was undeniable, yet beneath its shadows remained grief, fear, the fragile question of whether this makeshift family could truly hold. Laughter filled the room, bright and unguarded. A year had passed, and Christmas had returned, but everything was different now. Max handed Ella a small package, wrapped carefully in paper and tape. She tore it open with eager fingers and froze. A book lay inside, its cover drawn in crayon, snowflakes, a snowman, two children side by side. Inside, words scrawled in colored pencil. To my little sister, from your big brother Max. Her eyes filled instantly. She flung her arms around him. Thank you, Max. He blushed, trying to act steady. Okay, don't cry on it. From across the room, Liam watched them, his chest tight with a feeling he hadn't believed possible again. Hannah stepped quietly into the moment, her eyes resting on her daughter, safe in the home she'd once only dreamed of. Her voice came soft, meant only for him. You made me believe I'm worth loving. Liam reached for her hand, his answer no louder than a whisper. You are. You always were. Snow drifted silently outside the window as their fingers intertwined. Warmth circled them, fragile and full. Yet beneath it, the unspoken question lingered. What storms still lay ahead, and would this fragile, chosen family be strong enough to withstand them?